Hello, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I want to talk about the PlayStation redesign that we're hearing a lot about. My current thoughts on it is I don't think it's as much of a redesign as it is the the PS5 Pro being brought to market. I think if you remember back, before we heard the specs of the PS5, we were hearing rumors about a 13.3 teraflop GPU for the PS5, which I firmly believe that is the PS5 Pro. Now, the 13.3 teraflops was based on a set clock rate, but seeing as I believe that Sony was a little bit scared that, Microsoft was coming out with the 12.2 teraflop Xbox Series X, they rushed to put that boost clock in there, and that's why I think we're seeing a lot of disparity. A lot of checkerboard rendering is because most developers are not tapping into that 10.228 teraflops. They are basically using the 9.3 or whatever it is. So if you put two and two together, by the time it was time to launch the PS5 and the Series X, the PS5's definitely probably got a lot more out there on the market because they started building these a lot sooner than Microsoft started building the Series X. But now that they are ramping up production on a 6 nanometer chip for the PS5 Pro, we're going to see that 13.3 teraflop come out in the next year or so. Probably thinking Christmas 2022 if we want to get serious about this. That would definitely help Sony increase their numbers. And right now I think they smell blood in the water, thinking that people are willing to pay $1,000 for this PS5. Why wouldn't they pay $700 for a PS5 Pro that has more power than the Xbox Series X? Because they really can't go too much higher, and they can't really. I guess they could theoretically drop the price of the PS5 disc edition and the digital edition, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like they shot themselves in the foot with this, and I think it's a bad idea. I think it's a bad idea. Last generation, it was perfectly acceptable for a PS5 or PS4 Pro and an Xbox One X because of 4K TVs. That was acceptable. But to split the generation again with a PS5 Pro, yeah, people are going to buy it. I'll probably buy one, but yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. I think that Sony is. I think that they are going to do more harm than good if they do this. But do they really have a choice? This technology was already being put together long before the consoles launched. So, yeah, I think we're going to see a PS5 Pro. I don't think we're going to get a redesigned PS5. I think we're going to get a PS5 Pro. And either a $600 price tag, and they're going to, I don't know, to call it a PS5 Pro, it's going to need more storage. It's going to need at least, I'm thinking 2 terabytes to go with that 13.3 teraflop GPU. I don't know if I'm happy about it. I don't know how I really feel about this. I feel like I think they should really think this, they've already thought it through. But that's my thoughts on it, on the redesign. I don't think it's a PS4 or PS5 redesign. I think it is PS5 Pro. If you think about it, from a critical standpoint, technology and chip design is at a price point now, I believe, to where they could theoretically put this out and not take as much of a hit as if they would have launched the PS5 Pro at the same time as the PS5. It would have cost them a lot more money to do that, and the supply would have been more strained than it is now. Whereas with the new chipset and a 6 nanometer, they could theoretically produce just as many PS5 Pros simultaneously with the PS5 still being in development and still getting shipped out. That to me sounds more like a feasible thing than them to redesign a PlayStation 5 that's already on the market with a slim model less than a year later. That's where my money's at. If you want what I honestly think about it, I think that's where we're going with this one. Well, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll talk more about this later. Thanks.